Hello, how y'all doing? Just everybody's doing great. Thank God, cause I am. Today I would really like us to look into a very important topic as it regards to emotional and mental health, healing, and well-being. We'll be looking into how to identify and heal, and most importantly, take control of our life from a narcissistic relationship as an empath. Okay, I'll go again. So, I would like us to look into how to identify, and by that I mean who is an empath, who is a narcissist. Imagine these two combo in a relationship, right? Obviously, one is going to be the giver and the other is going to be the taker. And over time, the giver would get so stressed, would get so burnt out. Need I, might I also add, get or feel used? You know what I mean? While the taker will always be at the advantage or advantageous point, whereby the taker, who is always used to taking, doesn't get what they want anymore, doesn't get the situation favorable to them when they are not able to milk the situation or manipulate the other, it becomes a problem. Now we're gonna start with who is an empath and who is a narcissist in a relationship. For some, they'll be wondering, what does that term even mean? What what is she talking about? Empath? Yeah. Um this is very pertinent and very important to be able to identify the root causes of some conflicts in relationship. Over time, a relationship can either blossom or not. And there could be some underlying factors. So today, I would like us to know who an empath is and who a narcissist is. Feel free to stop by, feel free to comment, feel free to share, even if you want to. But the essence of this video is to educate, motivate, or even still inform someone out there who might still be a novice or who might not really understand what this is all about. And also, this might serve as an eye opener and answer a lot of questions that is really thrilling your mind. Okay, so feel free, get a pen and paper if you want to. Like I'll always say, jot things down. Feel free to stop by. Okay, and welcome back once again to All Things Quintessential channel, where we talk on all things healthy mental, social, emotional, relationship, healthy lifestyle, right? This is a family friendly channel where we aim to educate, elevate, entertain, even, okay, on all things quintessential. Okay, it's indeed a variety channel, so sit back. Now we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of today. So, first of all, I'm gonna start with who is an empath? Who do we call an empath? Empath with the spelling EMPAT. I know you must have heard this word over and over and over again. So I'm just gonna start. An empath basically is someone who has a high level of sensitivity, okay, to the emotions, thoughts, and energy of others. Those kind of people that would always sense that something is off. Those kind of people that they are quite intuitive. They could sense things way, 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 way before they even begin to manifest or before they even begin to happen, right? And they also can feel the pain of others. You could call them burden bearers. Someone said every family have people like that. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Those kind of people that are willing to forsake themselves and go out of the way, like you bring your concerns to them, they just carry it on as if it's theirs. They don't even sometimes care who you are. Like, if they can't stand people being hurt, people being in pain, like they could offer up their own soul, their body, just for you to feel all right. Like, those people could also be seen as loyalists. Like, they are so loyal to a fault, I tell you. They are so loyal to a fault. You know, they most times they take on compassion, care, like they nurture. They are givers, they are nurturers. They nurture to the extent that sometimes they get burnt out. But as long as it puts smile in other people's faces, game on. They are in, right? They are oftentimes mistaken to be people pleasers. They just want to make sure everybody is feeling okay, everything is all right. And then that takes us to the other set of people who are the narcissists. Who are this? Obviously, it even took me time before I could understand the name. Like, are they Nazis? I'm sorry, no disrespect. Like, the way it sounds, I'm like, what is this? Who are they? So the narcissists are those group of people, particularly that have a psychological disorder called the narcissistic personality disorder, which is NPD. It's they exhibit like very high sense of self-importance. Most times they lack empathy for others. They crave for admiration, and they could manipulate their way through or even exploit people for their own personal gain. I know, right? We're not trying to paint them to be the villain in the story. No, not at all. But these people, that is just how they they find themselves to be, maybe due to inherent behavioral dysfunction or disorder or characteristic or whatever. But it's just how they are wired. Like, they are they typically have a fragile self-esteem, and obviously they mask it. They kind of like need that validation and affirmation from people. So whatever it will take them to get it, they don't mind. But they are not bad, like I said, right? And sometimes you notice that being with this kind of people, maybe being in relationship with them, you could call them the takers. They are used to getting, sometimes they might have been exposed to getting so much attention, overly celebrated, and then they grew up wanting that same thing. Or it's also on the other side of the spectrum. Maybe they grew up not having any of those care, validation, affection, and they are out to get it any way necessary to them. It's means for survival, yeah? And then, like I said, you could see them as the takers in a relationship. And oftentimes they could be controlling. I know they could be controlling, and they seriously battle with maintaining their sense of superiority. There's this low self esteem and inferiority complex that they exude, right? Like they constantly crave for that affirmation and validation from people, and somehow they're gonna get it. Now, the relationship between the empath and the narcissist, it's quite typical. Why? Because the empaths are often drawn to narcissists due to their initial charm and the empath's desire to help others. The empaths are those who, of course, somehow they get satisfied, they are always happy, they are always fulfilled. There's this sense of joy when they are able to meet people's need, when they are able to lend a helping hand. Like to them is golden, you know. So always drawn to people that have such need in them, it's not inevitable. They are usually drawn to the narcissist who would do whatever they can if they notice that you're an empath and you've got all the love to offer, you've got it all figured out. They will get their constant affirmation, praises, recognition, validation. Obviously, empaths will be drawn to those kind of people out of their need to help or out of their desire to, be instrumental towards someone's growth. I know, right? Some people I can begin to see themselves. No, don't really don't self-diagnose yourself. Don't really begin to play it in your head. Am I a narcissist? Am I an empath? No, don't. Let's just keep going, right? Now, the narcissist who thrives on admiration and control may initially present themselves as the perfect partner, friend, colleague. However, as the relationship progresses, the narcissist's true energy begin to emerge, right? Like we said, character is like pregnancy. You can hide it over time. It's going to show, it's going to blow out. And then the empath, sensitive to other people's need, becomes an easy target for emotional manipulation, gaslighting, and exploitation. And then another thing too is empaths tend to absorb the narcissist's negativity. They make excuses, like because they see the best in others, maybe because that was something they craved, they never had, right? They kind of like grew up and decided to be an empath rather than being a narcissist. For example, let's put it this way: both are on a spectrum, right? Now, the empath might be on the positive side of it, who haven't been through things in life, rough patches, decides to, be that beacon of light, hope, and assistance to other people. Why the narcissist can decide to, you know what, after all, nobody showed me care, nobody cared, nobody loved me. I'm not going to be that. I'm just going to go and get me someone who will be all that for me. But me giving it to that person, obviously, no, that's not me. So now, mm, empaths tend to absorb the negativities and make excuses, always feeling compelled to fix or save the narcissist. Like they're like assistant parents. They just want to, it's a win-win for everybody. They just want everything to, everybody to be okay, because it validates something in them, right? And oftentimes it's at their own expense, because when they notice they are being manipulated, used, they begin to burn out, and it leads to emotional exhaustion. The question of, am I being used? you know it gets to that, and then confusion. And then when boundaries are repeatedly violated, kind of like alters the whole emotional mechanism and mental health in most cases, right? So I believe you've been able to identify and understand who an empath is and who a narcissist is. Now we're going to go to straight on how to recognize a narcissist as an empath, because I feel the nudge to do this, because most relationships that are on the verge of crippling or that are going through burnout, it's usually a case of an empath being a giver. They give emotionally. Most importantly, whenever I say give, most people think it's financial. It can be, but for me, they give emotionally, they put in the best, they want to do every possible best to salvage or save or nurture that relationship. And over time, it leads to burnout. While the narcissist, on the other hand, is the taker. They've gotten themselves some loyal puppet who would always dance to their tune, love them no matter what. Any day the puppet stands up and like, enough, you're overstretching this boundary. This is not proper. Don't do this. It's okay. Enough is enough. If they don't gaslight, they try to manipulate. And then you see the empath here starts getting burnt out. The narcissists also start getting, tired of the relationship. You see them complain, you see them try to emotionally abuse or neglect or even manipulate the empath in the relationship. And oftentimes it brings friction, it brings conflict, right? Now, recognizing a narcissist, I wouldn't lie to you. It could be very challenging, though. It could be very, very challenging. However, even though it's challenging, there are some glaring factors you could see. But it doesn't mean that once somebody exhibits this characteristics, you immediately stereotype them to be what? Narcissists. Not at all. But there are some behavioral patterns that would make you want to watch out for it. While in love, in relationship, most times you're blind to some of these flaws, you're blind to some of these things. You think it's nothing, you think it's okay, you think we're gonna work it out, you think, nobody is perfect, we got this. After all, I'm not perfect. I also have my human frailty and stuff. But over time, what happens, like in a relationship, I keep saying, I don't subscribe to 50-50, because if you bring your 50, where else is the other 50? And I bring in my 50, where else is the other 50? I think I subscribe to 100 plus 100. equal to 100, full charge, full energy. If you want to be in a relationship, make the most of it, maximize the potentials and benefits, bring in your A game, bring yourself, don't reserve any part, right? So, um, you could really notice subtle signs. Sometimes, I know everybody is on and on about a narcissist, everything. Yes, they have good aspects. Remember, they have charm, they have charisma, they try to be the best at what they do. We'll call them the alphas, let me put it that way, to some point. In the early stage of relationship, you want to feel loved, when they're a little bit jealous about you, telling you what to do, you're like, oh, that's it. I got, you know, this person is jealous over me. They love me so much that it feels cozy and all lovey dovey till it's not over the course of the relationship. You know, you could see some subtle signs, okay? I'm not trying to throw shades here, but as an empath, you won't totally ignore the fact that you saw some traces or likelihoods. But then again, you choose to ignore it because that's what you do. You like to see the best in others. You want others to win. You love it when you're needed. You love it when you fix things. You love it when you know. And when at the start it was all fun, it was all rosy, yay. But then over time, because of the burnout, it started weighing on you. Maybe the kids started coming. Maybe you expected more from the relationship because obviously, if you are into fixing, there should be at some point when you feel, yes, I'm done with this vessel. I've tried the fixing, it's my time to relax. Because, hey, even the creator of the universe rested and saw what they did and they loved it. But as an empath, like you keep working, you don't even know if there's a means to an end. Obviously, it gets tiring, right? Obviously, you that self-consciousness and awareness creeps in like, am I ever gonna be seen? Am I ever gonna matter? Am I ever always gonna be a puppet? Oh no. So and then guess what? Problem ensues. It becomes an issue. Hey, welcome. Feel free to chat in. Feel free to comment, okay? So now, one of the ways an empath would notice either subtly or full blown or glaringly in a relationship with a narcissist at the early stage is excessive need of admiration. Initially, it's so sweet when everything is rosy. You don't mind throwing compliments, you don't mind acknowledging affirmation, validation. But if there is constant need for it from the person you're in relationship with, then obviously something is wrong. Because if you are good, I keep saying it, a good market doesn't need much advertising. Regardless, they will still sell anyway. So why do I always need to, you know, validate you, throw you compliments for little accomplishments, and when I don't, you feel angry? You know what I mean? So that is a red flag. Then lack of empathy. When it has to do with you, they treat it with such levity and triviality as if your feelings never existed, or they try to, dismiss your feelings and stuff, right? But when it comes to them, they want you to, for example, they call in and tell you they are sick. They want you to leave the job, come running, you know. But when it gets to you, they're like, oh, no, no problem. You feel better. Oh, no, you feel better. You're strong. Just go pick up some meds at the pharmacy. You're such a strong, that kind of scenario. The energy is not matching. That is a red flag. And then manipulation and control. They may use tactics like gaslighting, guilt tripping you, and playing the victim just to manipulate others or you in the relationship. Like they are never wrong, you're always wrong. They don't see anything wrong in the way maybe they behave and stuff. You always end up apologizing even when they are wrong, because you just want peace to reign, and they gaslight you, sometimes make you doubt your self-worth, but they want the opposite for them. For them, you should be all out. But when it comes to you, the gaslighting is something else, as if they dismiss your feelings or whatever it is, your concerns, as if they never existed. That could be a subtle sign, my friend. And then you see manipulation and control. Hmm. You see sense of entitlement. That's also another thing. They believe they deserve special treatments and often expect others to cater for their needs without offering anything in return. Yeah. Another one is emotional roller coaster. You're on high today, you're on low. You are happy today, the next minute, relationship with narcissist can be unpredictable. Incessant mood swings that could be so detrimental to your health. Initially you don't see it as anything. I'll share something. A friend those days when we were in the university, when we kind of like gather for girls talk, she would like, oh my, sometimes I really wish I could, you know, get into a quarrel or argument with my partner, because when we make up, like the whole word make up, is it him showering me with gifts, telling me he's sorry, the intimacy, it's on a whole new level. So sometimes I crave it. Even at a young age, I could tell that there's a problem. Like this person is beginning to condition themselves to think it's okay, that that's what life is. That's that's what they could do. They could make you second guess yourself, gaslight you to even settle for mediocrity, and you don't even have self-worth anymore. Like you begin to deem whatever they are dishing out as normal. These things are subtle signs, and then, with them, mood swing, like you can't even tell it. This week you might be on your highest mood, happiest. The next minute is weekday, is something else. Then you see blaming others. Oh my, they are never at fault. Everybody is wrong. Everybody has wronged them. They feel it's you. Someone speaks ill about them, it's you. Like they easily look for emotional punching bag, like somebody they could blame everything on. For them, they are perfect. If not for you, who is so getting on their nerves, irritating them, you know, they rarely take responsibility for their actions. Instead, they shift blames. And guess what? The empaths will always bear it because they are used to apologizing, fixing things, wanting peace to reign. They will just take on the blame. Those are some, there are many of them, I tell you, those are some of the narcissistic behaviors or tendencies in a relationship that an empath could notice the subtle signs and begin to question it. And I tell you, when you begin to question these things in relationship, obviously because they don't have anything to gain, or they feel they've been caught, or they feel they can't do it with this person is too wise, they would take the other door. Okay. But when you see the signs, most people have made that mistake today. When you see the signs, look into it, sort it. Okay. But if it happens that it is what it is, it has happened, say in the confines of marriage, obviously you can't even, for some people, so many things are at stake. When you see people up and live in marriage, it's not all that okay to judge them or to begin to imagine things and say negative things, because you weren't there. You don't know what really happened. He who wears the shoe knows where it pinches them. But for some who have decided to stay for some reasons, maybe they are trying to break a cycle, they are trying to stand in there, maybe for their children, maybe for whatsoever reason, or maybe it doesn't tally with their religious uh, uh, standards to, like, in case of marriage though. keep hopping from one marriage to another. They're really putting a lot into consideration. If you happen to find yourself in that relationship, I tell you, there is still a way out. You could take back control, I tell you. Okay? I hope you're enjoying this. I hope this helps someone out there, honestly, because I don't know, it's been a lot these days on relationship and marriage. Like, you turn your ear this way, you hear something else. You turn your ear, you hear something else. I'm not siding, I'm not on anybody's side, but I know that actually it takes two to tango. If you still happen to be a narcissist who really wants your relationship to work, that is where compromise comes in. If actually this person has been the burden bearer, not financial, has been the emotion. I keep telling people finances, financial whatever is not the highest in a relationship. You see, the emotional burden bearer, the heart of the relationship, the one that pumps it, that makes it work, that is really where the work is, because you need to have a sane mind and a mental stable outlook in life to be able to do whatever work and deliver effectively and successfully, right? I believe we can all agree to that. So kudos to those who provide, because one of the weapons too of the narcissist is they feel they are indispensable. You know, they will try to offer you everything just so you don't see any way out. You just see them at the big as the beginning and the end, and there's nothing you can do about it. But hey, don't give up. There's still light at the end of the tunnel. So we're going to look at how to heal and regain back control. Okay? Number one is acknowledging the situation. No need crying over spilled milk, I tell you. Recognizing that you're dealing with a narcissist is the first step. Sometimes it's due to an underlying factor. Understanding that you cannot change these people. Accepting this reality first and foremost allows you to stop that cycle of manipulation, because what you don't understand, you can't even help with, or you can't even heal from, right? And then focusing on your healing, it will do a lot of good. Acknowledging the situation, and then to establish boundaries. One of the most critical tools for an empath is learning how to set and maintain healthy boundaries. Narcissists will push you, I tell you, they'll push your boundaries, but standing firm is essential for protecting your emotional health. This can include limiting contact if possible, whatever situation or whatever conversation that is gonna stir up and get to arguments, and they begin to gaslight you, blame you for all whatnot, make you feel the victim. Try to avoid it. They will stay you, they will make you all sorts, but then trying to keep at it will go a long way. Okay, guys. Yeah, welcome, Boo Boo. How are you? I'm coming, okay? Yeah, Mama is live. I'm coming. I'll come to you. Go remove your jacket. Mama coming. Love you, baby. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop at here today because mini me's are back. Yeah, I'm just gonna go and attend to them. But hey, watch this whole video and watch out for part two of this episode. And please comment, share, let me know your thoughts, okay? Obviously, this is a very important topic, and I am going to go ahead and have a part two for this. We'll have a part two. We really have to talk about how to regain control, okay? It's not all that bad, it's redeemable. As long as there is life, there is hope. So please make it a date, and I will also try to, you know, publish ahead of time so that we'll be able to get, yes, welcome, Bubu, so that we'll be able to talk about this. Okay, so thank you. Let me go attend to my mini me's. Okay, please, we'll pick this up some other time. Thank you so much for your time. I'm so grateful. Bye bye. Mommy, I just want to ask you something. Yeah.